Hi everyone, this is Cindy and I'm getting ready to start my next junk journal. It's going to be about music. I had made this cover months and months ago when I was doing some glue books, and it was going to be a glue book, and I just decided I liked the cover too much. I was going to make a journal out of it. And it's going to be a little bit bigger journal than normal. It measures, get the ruler right, 7¼ by 9½. And then I put a 3-inch spine in it when I was making it into a glue book, so it's going to have a big wide spine. But that's okay because it's in proportion to the rest of it being big, so we can deal with the 3-inch spine. Got the fabric on it and everything, and just love the inside, love the keyboard there. And this used to be a classroom textbook, so Angela Becker in 1972 signed in. Anyway, so I had the cover and I started pulling papers for it, and I have quite a bit of scrapbooking stuff as far as papers and stickers and just scrapbooky type stuff. Of course, none of this is real good, and I've had it forever. Couldn't tell you where I got it. This probably was a single sheet from Hobby Lobby. Nope, I don't know. Anyway, I've had it forever because it would be something I would have scrapbooked because my husband is a musician, has guitars and the drums and the keyboards and all that. So I don't already say that. I've done this video a couple of times, so I'm not sure what I've said and what I haven't said. So anyway, and I think there's a sheet of paper, scrapbook paper, and here's some stickers. So I pulled all that stuff to see what I had, and like I said, I have quite a bit of stuff. I got a tub's worth over here. And also I knew I had a stamp. I got that a while back at Hobby Lobby, so that's good. And I have this punch, this edge punch. One of the first things I bought when I started doing junk journals, I saw it and I thought, I want that. I had no use for it at the time, but I wanted it anyway. And this will give you an idea of what it looks like. It's a pretty good edge punch, except this little thing right here is not attached to anything, so it could definitely get peeled up pretty easy. So I think it's better to back the edge onto like a piece of paper and glue all these things down. So anyway, we'll deal with that when I actually use it, but that's the punch. And then, I pulled my papers, pulled my stamps, pulled my punch. I wanted a stencil, and I had looked at Hobby Lobby, didn't find anything. So I thought, how hard can it be to make my own? I had this piece, this scrap of plastic. I'm not sure. I think it used to be a divider for an old scrapbooking system called Scrap Rack. So I printed out some musical notes and traced around them, then took my X-Acto knife and cut it around, and it makes a pretty decent stencil. Let's see if I can show you. What's that? That'll work. I actually made a video when I was doing it, and it was kind of crazy because I did the treble clef here and went all the way around it and thought, uh-oh, I need these parts in the middle to stay in place. So I kind of worked up how to do those. Let me show you that. Give me a piece of paper here. So I couldn't find my cutter bee scissors, so I couldn't really get a really close little cut here, but I'm going to make those a little narrower, I think, so it doesn't it's not quite so wide, but I still thought that wasn't too bad for a first attempt at making a stencil. And even here, when I cut the whole thing out, it still could be, I'm making it darker than I probably would on a page. I just want you to be able to see. It's still not too bad. So, and people might look at it and say, what is that? I don't know. But anyway, so I attempted to make a stencil. And then, in the middle of making it, I'm like, did I check on Amazon to see what they have? So, and they do have several ones on Amazon. So, but too late now. I've already got mine. So I did that. And then I thought, do I have anything from the Old Design Shop or Graphics Fairy? So I went looking on those, and this right here. I didn't have anything from Old Design Shop, I don't think, but Graphics Fairy had some things. So I got those, and I printed them. I put them all on one sheet. Well, I put a lot of them on a sheet. In Publisher, because that way I could resize them and everything, and I just print them out. I actually think I probably got them too large, but we'll see, and then I can always reprint them. And she also had this one, which is pretty. It's a Valentine, but it's a girl playing the violin. And then this ad for this violin reminded me I have an old music magazine somewhere. I can go get some old ads out of it, and I haven't done that yet, but I will. And just some more of the Graphics Fairy designs. I'm sure if you guys have found my channel, you surely have found the Graphics Fairy. And there's also another site called Pixel Scrappers, and it's a digital scrapbooking place, and they're very generous. They let you download 5 images or things a day. So I just looked at music to see what they had, and they had these, I'm not sure what you call these, notepad, note cards, whatever, to-do list type things, and had the musical notes on there, and I just thought that was cute. It'll fill up some blank spots in a journal. And then they had this violin, picture of a violin, so I printed that out a couple of times. And then they had some background papers. So this one was really pretty, and this is just on regular copy paper, so it's not on photo paper at all. And then another one. And they had a few more. I just, I ran out of my 5 things for the day. And then they had this. And it was like a sheet of music. And I thought, oh, that'd be a great page. And I also, if I want to, I could shrink it down and make it into a journaling card. And that's what really got my brain to clicking. I looked for digital, music digital kits on Etsy to see what was there. I didn't really like... I mean, they're great, but it just wasn't really what I had in mind. So then I'm just going to make my own digital kit, because I have a whole tub of music. And I'm not just talking the music sheets like these, which I also have like a whole tub of this, because I've been collecting it for several years. But you can't do a journal on just these. But this tub I bought for $4 at an estate sale a few months ago. Had lots of these sheets of music in there. And I thought, these are way too big and way too fragile to put in a journal. They're fragile, so I would have to glue them solid, just the whole thing down. I couldn't fold it or anything. But they're way too large. So I'm scanning them, and I'm going to shrink them down. And some of these might be pages in my journal, or shrunk down, way, way, way down to be a journaling card or a pocket. So I've been scanning a bunch of these. And then I got to thinking, it's been a while since I've watched any of her videos and heard her talk about it, but Mrs. Cog, and she has a lot of digital designs on Etsy. She says she finds images or whatever, and she gently alters them. And I'm not really sure what gently alter means. I think it's just, my guess is it's her way of changing it a little so she's not violating a copyright law. So I thought, I can do the same thing. I can gently alter these a little and maybe make my own digital kit. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm scanning these, a bunch of them. I got tons of them. And then I had found a musical quote by Plato that I thought was pretty neat. So that made me think, oh, I'm sure there's more musical quotes out there. So I found enough to make a sheet. So I'm going to include that in my little digital kit I'm working on. And if it's for me, I'm creating it for me, but then I also might sell it in my Etsy shop. So that's what I've got going on. I'm just trying to pull things in so I know what I'm working with. And I've just got stuff everywhere. So that's what I'm working on. So I will keep you updated and show you my signatures that I put together, and maybe show you these sheets of musical sheets, sheet music, that's what it's called, sheet music. Printed out. Once I've done the scan, you can kind of see what they're going to look like. So anyway, I'm going to get busy. I've got company coming like tomorrow, and I'm going to be here all weekend. So it's going to be really crazy. I don't know how much I'll get done, but as soon as I can get a chance to get back in here, I will talk to you guys and show you what I'm up to. So thanks for watching. Bye. I was digging through my tub of stuff I was talking about, and I found this. It was from some like Happy Meal toy, except I think it was Sonic that did these. It's learning Spanish, I believe. So anyway, it reminded me of these, which are my flashcards, which I guess I really never used, but I can see now how these would have been real important, where you can just learn. When you see that, you know what that note is. Like, I know that's a... Every good boy does. That's a D, okay? I never did learn the bass very well. But anyway, so I thought these flashcards, and no, I am not going to. I just cannot do it yet. Use my flashcards, just decorate them and just use them. I just got to hang on to them still. Sorry, I don't know why. It's even got my name right there. Look, Anyway, that reminded me of that. So when I was digging through there, I thought, you know, I might scan a couple, just a couple. So anyway, I found this. This sheet of music was the piece I did for my very first piano recital. And look, we paid 41 cents for it. I was in elementary school. I took piano lessons for 3 years. I'm terrible at it because, you know, I didn't do the flashcards. I did fair when I did the recital. I was so nervous. And I actually skipped like a whole page, and that kind of is reflected in the fact that now half of this is missing. I got 1 page of the music, so it will never be found again because for decades, you know, my mother had all the paper, all this stuff. And see, here's my sister. She did this song November 11th. She passed it. And she did this one November 18th. She was much better at it than me, I'll just say. Anyway, my mother had all this stuff in the piano bench, and when she got rid of the piano, she said, here, you guys look through all this. See, that was before I did junk journals, or I would have had a whole bunch more. But I grabbed this because, you know, it was my first recital. I don't have the music from my second one, which is okay, too, because it was maybe a little better, but I had only been taking lessons like a couple of months when I did that first one, so... But anyway, I just thought I scanned it, and I'll include it, and that'll mean nothing to nobody but me. But anyway, just adding this onto this video because I'm just kind of crazy. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.